And what were the specific challenges of working whilst caring for Al, who was, who you began to realize, I guess, was terminally ill?
Yeah, the last 6 months of his life, it was the 25th of May. He had an X-ray that showed he got metastases, and because of the kind of treatment that he was on, the fact that he had metastases come onto his lungs, it just meant that the cancer cells had been hiding, and then they came out to play, and we knew that was going to be very, very different. And what I would say is, when you're given a terminal diagnosis of Al, as it was in this case, it certainly changes things. I certainly don't worry, and still don't to this day worry about the small things anymore. I know I am very resilient, and I'm very grateful for that. But actually letting Al make some of his own decisions was, right from the word go, was so important in us being able to handle this. We talked things through, but he was the one who was living his illness, and it was a horrendous treatment. So it was very much about letting him control what he could control right up to the end, and that was, they say your immune system is going to be reduced by the treatment, but he wanted to go to school, so I let him go to school. I let him get up when he wanted to, and if he needed to sleep, he slept, and that was just the way that it was. But he wanted to live his life to the full for as long as he possibly could. And in some ways, as much as his mum, I wanted to wrap him up in cotton wool and look after him and take it all away from him. He would have hated that, absolutely hated it. So that's quite tough. Again, he felt it was important for me to work. He knew that was important from a financial perspective, but also because when I was working, I wasn't necessarily thinking about him all the time. Obviously I was, but you're not sat there mopping my brow and thinking, oh no. If I stayed at home, he used to say it made him think that he was ill. So he was ill, but mentally he just wanted me to carry on. So I carried on, and to be honest, I really enjoyed the focus that gave me whilst I was doing it. And I was a bit of a chameleon. It was wearing different hats for different situations, and there were many, many hats worn on different days. And also being a mum to Floss and Pat and helping them go through it. They were aware that Al was going to die. I had to make time for them, but we also had to make fun when we could. So again, it was back to very much balancing the books, not just financially, but very much about time spending with Al. That tended to be late at night when we had our own time together. And for Floss and Pat, and just making sure that we were all there, and just so grateful for the support of the long-term clients, again, because I shared it with them, and they gave me work to do, so I could work remotely by his bed, in stairwells, in the car. The arrival of the mobile phone and the internet has made it so much easier. But gosh, was I tired when it was all over. And you don't realize that. But I felt I'd done what I wanted him to be proud of me. I was very proud of him. And he was proud of me because I'd let him live his life and let him make his decisions. And at this point, he's now 16. So he's becoming quite a young man. It was important to me. And really, with that in mind, I had just 2 weeks off work when he died, and then went back to work because it's what he would have expected of me and what he would have done himself. And when I think back, the morning he died, he sent in his PE coursework. He also did a Topshop order, but let's not talk about what arrived next day. Just carried on living life to the full. Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing story, Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as you say, the death of a child does live with you for a long time.
Yeah. It's forever. It will never go. It's eternal.